Well, your reaction to my entire VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray collection video has been phenomenal. So I decided to do my first Black Friday shopping extravaganza, even though the prices weren't all that great. But I do have a good stack of Black Friday pickups, and I'm going to go over them with you today. Let's do this. Okay, I have a decent stack here, and I'm going to go through every single one of these. Some of these are Blu-ray, some of these are 4K. I am working on my 4K collection. I have a PS5, and me and the fiance are investing in a nice TV in the next couple months. So again, I'm stocking up on the 4K selection and going from there. But again, as I said before, in my divorce, I sold hundreds. I've been collecting DVDs and VHS movies since mid-90s, really. I remember having the first entire season of X-Files movies on VHS. Well, the show was what I meant to say. And in the divorce, I sold hundreds of them. And so I'm kind of rebuilding them as of really the past year. And I'm getting more into it as of now. So again, some of these movies are going to be classic. Some of these are going to be new, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with them. Starting with I guess the Blu-ray collection. Over the top. Winner takes it all. Loser takes the fall. This is cheesy.
I said, are you Hawk? I'm the Smasher.
It's Stallone working with Canon Films. It makes no sense, but hell, I mean, who would have thought? I remember thinking at the time, who would pay attention to a sport when it's just arm wrestling? That's stupid. But nowadays we have a sport where people just slap each other. I love this movie. It's very cheesy. There's a lot of sentimental value with this movie when it comes to me and my son, who is now a senior in high school. I mean, this movie, the soundtrack is just timeless. Again, incredibly cheesy. It's a guilty pleasure, but I absolutely love this film. Stallone, over the top. Ah, dun, dun, dun. Watch go. Okay. This one, X. I'm still looking for Pearl in the Steelbook, but this one, oh my God, I loved it. Ty West, I saw one of his films before this one. It was like The Night with the Devil or something to that effect. And it was incredibly boring, but I liked the ending. It was a really solid ending, but there's about maybe an hour of film in the movie that they could have gotten rid of. But again, Mandy, I love, not Mandy, what am I trying to say? Yeah, Mandy. No, not Mandy. What am I trying to say? Pearl. I love Pearl. I love X, and I'm looking forward to, is it Maxine, which is the third film in this trilogy. They Can Do No Wrong. I'm pretty sure it's going to be amazing. And it's pretty cool. I mean, how they went ahead and did this. They went ahead and made X and Pearl at the same time. That no one's ever kind of done that. I mean, usually with Hollywood studios, they want to bank on seeing that the film's profitable first, but I guess it was so under budget, they went ahead and did it. It was a unique set of circumstances. So again, great film. I love it. A lot of sex, a lot of boobs. You're the pervert of the auto stream. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Suicide Squad. Again, if you saw my rankings of all the MCU, Marvel, DC movies, all that stuff, I love this film. Oops, excuse me. I love this film. It's fantastic. It's great. Again, it's adult humor, it's adult violence, and a comic book format. Again, very funny jokes. Again, I don't mind jokes as long as they're done in the right form or fashion, and it's done where it doesn't ruin a moment within the characters, really just kind of opening themselves to each other and getting to know each other and building that camaraderie. But again, I love this film. I may be very happy to hear that James Gunn took over the DCU, and I have complete 100% trust in that man. He can do no wrong. I love every single one of his films, especially Guardians 3. It's the best MCU film this year, and looking forward to this. But again, I had to get it on Blu-ray. And I believe that's it for the Blu-rays. Everything else is 4K. So let me go ahead and get started with the 4Ks. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Again, I'm not just horror. I'm not just comic book movies. I love all types of movies. I love foreign films where I'm just reading subtitles all day long. And this particular film I shed a tear. As many of you know, I am dead inside, and it takes a lot for me to feel anything. And this particular film, I loved it. It was so over the top. I mean, you can't explain it to anybody. It makes no sense. A multiverse type of movie storyline. It doesn't make so much sense. The fact that the only way they can really shift from one dimension to another is by doing something disgusting. I mean, out of context, there's a fight scene in this movie with a guy with a dildo stuck up his ass. I'm not kidding, but that is no, it was an anal plug. Yes, some guy had a fight scene with an anal plug up his ass fighting with his pants down. That's what happened in this movie. But again, it's such a beautiful movie in its simplest tone. It's about a family. It's about a mother with an estranged relationship with their daughter, and they're just trying to connect and be a family. That's the core of the movie, but there's so much craziness around it. I had to get it. I love this film. So again, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That was a great one. This one I don't know much of, but this is Dr. Strangelove, or How to Learn to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I've been wanting to see this movie for a very long time. I love Stanley Kubrick. I have majority of all his films except for this one, and I don't know anything about it. I just know James Earl Jones is in this one. I know Peter Sellers, of course, George C. Scott. And it's kind of like a lot of idiots in charge of the world, and they have their fingers on the button to launch a nuke, which is, I don't want to get too political, but nowadays it's pretty scary. Our world in, so it's not too far from the reality, the fiction here. So again, I'm going to see this, maybe do a review on it. If you want to see this, let me know. I don't know if you guys are into classics or not, but I love Kubrick. Guy's amazing. Of course, I had to get this one, Terrifier. I did a watch along with Cody on his channel about last year. I loved it. It was fantastic. I love the actress in here, Lauren. I know her by her first name. I forgot her last name. But yeah, amazing film. Completely gut-wrenching. I can't believe I took my son to go see this. He was 16 at the time, but he's unfazed. I've seen this movie twice, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to see it again. It's just so brutal. And like I told you guys earlier in previous videos, that I don't know what's going on with me as I get older. My tolerance for violence in films, I get wheezy and I get lightheaded when I see something too much. And if it's too disturbing, I don't want to see it. So I don't know how I made it through this film twice. I think the first time I went in blind and naive, and I was pretty much unsure of what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. And as it was happening, it didn't hit me until 2 days later, when my brain finally registered what I had saw, especially that bedroom scene. So anyway, I bought it anyway. Probably will see it once a year or something to that effect. But again, it's old school. It's disgusting, as the title says up there. And I loved it. I had to get it. So there's my 4K. 4-disc set. This has Blu-ray, DVD, a black and white version, and the 4K edition. One of the most heartbreaking and brutal endings of any film I think I've seen. I mean, there's some other ones that I can't think of right now, or they're not coming to mind, but a heartbreaking, brutal ending. And this film, I love it because of its simplicity. You put a bunch of people, a bunch of strangers who don't know each other, in an earth-ending situation, and they're just all huddled together in a grocery store. And who's the vicious monster? Is the monsters outside or the people inside? The way, the logic, and the human mind and how people react to fear. This film scares me because of the people. And it scares me because, again, it's not too far from reality. If this situation were to happen, the way people behaved in this film is not too shocking. I can honestly see that. That's probably the most realistic way people would behave in those type of circumstances. People will betray you in a heartbeat. So again, this film scares me not because of the monsters that are outside. It's because of how people behave and where they turn to when they need answers. They'll be desperate for peace. They'll be desperate to get the fear out of their bodies, and they'll turn to any way in dire circumstances. But my God, this is an amazing film. I should do a review on this. But again, one of the most heartbreaking endings ever. Evil Dead Rise. I love this one. It's beautiful. I mean, just like the other remake that came out in 2012. I love what they're doing with this. They're keeping the original franchise going by having a tone and everything they had built before, but just more of a grounded and really just grotesque and terrifying way. I mean, it's fantastic. I remember seeing this. Spoilers coming up right here. 3, 2, 1. So be ready. I remember watching this and seeing, a mother and her kids. I mean, I felt, they're not going to kill the kids. I mean, no movie's going to let a mother kill her kids, or they're not going to let the kids die. I mean, they're going to be safe. And like, holy shit. I was wrong. And I was happy I was wrong. So again, this surprised me in many ways because of the twists and what happened to this poor family, man. My God. Eesh. But great movie. Great movie. Visually amazing. Rian Johnson, he did screw up Star Wars. You know what? I don't blame him for The Last Jedi. I'm not a fan of The Last Jedi. I remember having a really bitter taste with the name Rian Johnson. I'm sure YouTube made hundreds of videos and thousands of videos about Rian Johnson, but God damn it, he is a great director and a great writer. And this movie made me a fan of Rian Johnson. Even part 2, Knives Out 2. They're amazing films. I love this film. It feels like the game Clue, but in a more serious tone. But again, I loved it. Fantastic. And again, I had to buy it. Funny story, believe it or not. Let me tell you this real quick. I was divorced and single at the time, and I remember waking up by myself on Thanksgiving Day. This is 2017, I think, when this came out, maybe 2018. I remember waking up by myself Thanksgiving morning. The Macy's Thanksgiving Parade is on. I had no food, and this was released on Thanksgiving. I believe, for the week of Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to sit here and get depressed. I'm going to go to the theater and go check out Knives Out, right? So I get in my car Thanksgiving morning. I go to the movie theater and it's dead. There's like only 2 kids working behind the register, right? I go, one for Knives Out. Sir, can you touch the screen and pick your seat? I look at the screen. There's like no seats. I mean, there's like no one sold anything. There's like, I can pick anything. So I pick the seat right in the center. I go, I guess it's just me in this whole theater. And they go, yeah. So I get my seat, I get my popcorn, and I go into the theater. And I'm sitting in there watching commercials. And all of a sudden, this girl walks in hot. I'm like, damn, don't make it obvious. And I just start looking at the screen, but she's walking, and my peripheral sees her walking, right? And she stops by my aisle, and she starts walking toward me. And she sits next to me, and I look at her. I'm like, hi. She's like, you're not going to believe this. I had nowhere to go for Thanksgiving. I didn't want to be by myself, so I'm here to see Knives Out. My seat is supposed to be down there, but you look like a nice guy. Can I sit with you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And we ended up dating for a little bit. Her name was Claudia. And I haven't heard from her since for many, many years. But again, it just goes to show, you never know. You honestly, I know a lot of you aren't going to believe me, but I would never lie to you when it comes to my dating stories. Hell no. But you never know who you could meet or what could happen if you just put yourself out there. Because again, I didn't want to go out there. It was Thanksgiving morning, but I made myself go. And look what happened. I met somebody pretty damn hot. So again, great story tied to this movie. I'm not lying. It was fucking awesome. Heat. Believe it or not, I saw this in the theater, mid-90s, and I was so bored I walked out of it. I don't know what I was doing. I was young and stupid, but I was bored with it. And I recently seen it as of late. And again, it has one of the best bank robbery scenes ever. I mean, they're using blanks in downtown Los Angeles. I hear that the reload scene where Val Kilmer's shooting, he ducks and he reloads. He does it like in under 3 seconds. It's so tactically sound that I don't know what military, I think it's the Marines or the Army, plays that clip and says, can you be better than a movie star as far as tactically reloading and shooting that scene? I'll put a clip of it here, but it's an amazing film. I love Pacino and De Niro. I got to check this out again. I think it's like a 3-hour film. Michael Mann is fucking amazing. But again, Heat. Do you like Heat? Let me know. And the very last film. I'm surprised I haven't bought this. I didn't buy it, but I bought it now. But it is The Batman. A masterpiece, an absolute comic book movie masterpiece. It is. I saw it 3 times that opening weekend. I was just in awe with what I had seen there. And of course, I know the director here. It is Matt Reeves, of course. How can I forget Matt? My memory's going like crazy, guys. I'm losing common sense here. But yeah, Matt Reeves, and of course, everyone just giving Patterson here like a big like shit for being Edward in the Twilight movies, and he ended up kicking ass. One of the best Batman films ever made. Yes, deep down, I will always want the Ben Affleck movie that never came to be, but this was pretty damn good. And I'm looking forward to the sequels. I'm looking forward to the HBO Max television shows with the Penguin. I love the lore. I love how the tone is just gritty and dark. That's the way I like it. And I cannot wait to get more of this storyline in this world. Well, that's all I got for Black Friday. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, I just want to address, some of you have asked me to open a P.O. box so you can send me duplicates of movies you've got. I mean, that is unbelievably phenomenal. And it's very touching. I mean, I didn't expect that type of, I guess, feedback and just courtesy and just nice gestures from people out there in the YouTube space. But again, for those who have offered to send me duplicates of the movies that you've got, I will get a PO box squared away, and over the next week or so, and I'll make it public and make it a community post on my page. But again, it was really touching for me to hear that. I was not expecting that type of reaction from that my entire media collection video, and it really touched me. I wanted to be honest with you when it came to that, and meant a lot to me. So again, I will put up the PO box soon. I'll keep you posted. But again, If you haven't done so, please subscribe, like the video, leave some comments down below, and I will see you next time, everybody. Take care.